Here's tonight's starting lineups. First for the Violets. Freshman outside hitter from Middle Village, New York, number 4, Lucas Brzezinski. Freshman outside hitter from Los Angeles, California, number 9, Luke Boyer. Junior middle hitter from Honolulu, Hawaii, number 10, Roy Allen. At center, a junior from San Jose, California, number 11, Ryan Lee. Freshman middle hitter from Calabasas, California, number 15, Ryan Kagan. And sophomore right side hitter from Los Angeles, California, number 16, Jack Candido. Savero is a freshman from Carlsbad, California, number 2, Zach Knudsen. The head coach in his 29th year is Jose Pina, and the assistant coaches Patrick Dietz and Ryan Casey. Now let's meet tonight's starting lineup for your Baruch College Bearcats. A freshman outside hitter from Fairlawn, New Jersey, number 5, Jack Centeno. A sophomore center from Jackson Heights, New York, number 8, Stallone Shankar. Freshman middle hitter from Valles-Dean, New York, number 11, Michael Higgins. A freshman opposite from Brooklyn, New York, number 12, Yifeng Hong. A freshman outside hitter from Guangdong, China, number 14, Dennis Yu. A junior middle hitter from St. Albans, New York, number 23, Akil Vaughn. And a pair of liberos, the first from Tokyo, Japan, number 4, Naoki Tani. And the second libero, a freshman from Holbrook, New York, number 6, Travis Gooding. Head coach of the Bearcats, Kevin Edwards. The assistant coach is Hanban Lee and Jared Goulet. Now, let's play ball!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a new season of Baruch Men's Volleyball here at the Arc Arena. Kicking off the 2022 slate, my name is Brian Flannery, and I'm joined by Baruch Men's Volleyball legend, Jacob Bruton. Jacob, so happy to have you back in the booth.
You know, nowhere I'd rather be, Brian. Great to be here and great to start the season off and watch the home opener for the Baruch College Bearcats against the NYU Violets.
Of course, and Jake, you mentioned the Violets. Baruch definitely with a tough test to get their 2022 season started. We've seen perennially, year in, year out, NYU, a very formidable crosstown matchup here in Manhattan.
Yeah, NYU started off the season really hot, lost a heartbreaker 3-2 to Springfield College, which is always one of the top teams, and quite recently handled Hunter College, the Baruch College rival within the CUNYAC conference, very easily. So this will be a good match to see how Baruch sizes up with their inter-city competition and their inter-conference competition based off this match. For
sure, and despite NYU being out of conference, definitely a rivalry dating back a few years, if you could kind of speak towards that a bit.
Oh, yeah, the games have been real tight between Baruch and NYU. We've had a lot of barn burners here in the Arc Arena, most notably in 2019 where there was a 5-set thriller, and I believe in 2016 we had a 4-set thriller. I think the last time the Bearcats bested the Violets was in 2015 on the Violets' home turf, so they're long overdue for a win tonight.
All right, and we're going to hope for a win here at the Arc Arena as we're just about ready to get underway. Junior middle hitter Akil Vaughn on to serve for the Bearcats. And that's going to be a service error to get NYU on the board first.
Right.
Going over on one, and looks like they're going to call a double there, Jake.
That was actually a net touch by the Violets. Looks
Okay.
like number 4 was swimming in the net like a fish, Brian.
All right, well, nonetheless, the Bearcats will capitalize. They'll get the ball back, and Stallone Shankar dropping back to serve.
Yeah, the Baruch Bearcats look for a lot of leadership out of Stallone Shankar. He's one of the few returning members from the 2019 championship winning team.
Yeah, definitely a very versatile player. get a lot out of him, and the Bearcats will need him.
Ooh, and looked just out by a couple inches, Brian.
Yeah, so you like the aggressive attempt there going back corner. Unfortunately, doesn't get it. The Violets jump out to an early 3-1 lead. Ryan Lee dropping back to serve.
Yeah, this is their setter serving, Brian, so that means they're going to have 3 front row attackers in this rotation.
High serve there as Higgins coming back around. And
yeah, it looks like he cut that one a little bit too far towards one and swung out of bounds.
Yep. So Lee will continue his serve. NYU leads 4-1. Another high spinning serve. Shankar able to hold on to that one.
And an unforced error there on the Bearcats as that ball went out of bounds courtesy of Defeng Han. And they look to side out here quickly, Brian, and kind of put an end to this NYU run.
Yeah, Han looking for a little bit more of a down ball there, if anything, than going for that aggressive kill.
Mm-hmm.
And
those are just the shots you can't miss, Brian. When you take a little bit off, you got to make sure that ball goes in the court.
All right.
Centeno swings off hands.
Yeah, Bearcats able to get into the rotation there, but handled by NYU. And Baruch's going to capitalize on the error there from Jack Candido.
The sophomore right side from L.A.
Jack Centeno dropping back to serve for the Bearcats. They try to get a little bit of a service run here. He'll go back row, dug by NYU. Kind of a awkward little pass there.
Yeah, awkward little pass, very well handled by the setter to find the middle running a 31 there. Not the cleanest swing, but on a quick offense like that, Brian, you don't need to get the cleanest swing. You just need to get the ball in.
Yeah, they got their look and found what they were going for clearly. So Oshesky dropping back to serve now for the Violets. Shankar going outside.
And that is a kill by the freshman from Guangdong, China, Dennis Hu.
So Hugh getting the ball back for Baruch as Akil Vaughn will check in. Michael Higgins will drop back to serve.
Akil Vaughn's a very big hitter for the Bearcats. Let's see if they try and go to him in transition here, Brian.
Definitely be a great look for this offense as Higgins just angles that slightly out of bounds, looking for the back corner.
Yeah, you can tell the Bearcats are coming into this with a game plan to serve aggressively, Brian, but at a certain point, you want to see those serves starting to go into the court.
Of course. And, yeah, it could just be some early nerves here for the Bearcats, making a few unforced errors. So they're going to want to clean that up against a team like NYU. As Han. Jake, can you explain what just went on there?
Another NYU blocker into the net. Looks like they're getting a little bit too tight when they're trying to go up and penetrate over the net and getting caught on the way down.
So the Bearcats will certainly take that as Defeng Han, who just, you saw NYU force an error. He'll drop back to serve. Looking for that nice high serve as well. A lot of velo behind that one, just unfortunately unable to get it over.
This is a very young Bearcat team, Brian. You have to wonder if they're still not used to the home gym yet.
Yeah.
And hopefully we see them kind of settle in as the match goes on.
So Akil Vaughn coming through the middle, set by Shankar, but unable to convert on that connection.
Yeah, that's a connection look to get hot and stay hot early. I wouldn't be surprised if Shankar goes right back to Vaughn here, even though there was just that error.
Candido now serving for NYU. Shankar setting outside. Blocked and finds some real estate there for NYU. And just like that, double digits here for the Violets in set number one.
And you know, Brian, the Bearcats really have to execute here. Jack Candido is doing a standing float serve, which you really don't see that much at all at this level of volleyball, Brian.
And Jake, that's just kind of more a matter of getting it over, right? Not forcing any errors.
Yeah. Oh, Vaughn! The detonation out of the middle.
And, Jake, that's the connection you were just talking about. Shankar setting Vaughn, and Vaughn able to get a perfect look. Almost sends that through the broadcast booth.
Oh, and, you know, that shows the leadership of Shankar there. When your hitter makes a mistake, you go right back to him and trust him to make that next kill.
So, Hu on to serve, and that's going to be an ace.
An ace for the new Bearcat, Dennis Hu from Guangdong, China. NYU's not going to adjust their defense here. They're going to challenge him to serve it again.
Hu is 6'4" outside. Nice looking serve here. He'll go back row again. NYU getting their look. Ball shot up into the rafters. Hit by the libero. Vaughn and getting a little tied up. And
it looks like a little miscommunication there, but
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough when that ball hits the rafters.
Of
It's
course,
so easy to.
It's almost off-script volleyball at that point. You pretty much just have to survive and get it over on 3.
Exactly. And back at the line, number 9, Luke Boyer, the freshman outside from Los Angeles. Going into the net, Brian.
Yeah, commits a service error there. Ball going back to the Bearcats, and it's going to be Akil Vaughn, the original server.
Yeah, the first time through the whole rotation all season, Brian. You love to see it.
Yeah, there's nothing like it here at the Arc Arena. As Vaughn looking back row, that one way out, and NYU once again capitalizing on an unforced Baruch
Yeah, I
error.
wouldn't be surprised if on that third serve he has, he really dials it in. A little bit of Goldilocks syndrome there. First one a little bit too low, second one a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Third one's going to be just right.
Bearcats getting to their offense here.
Oh, and a kill from Jack Centeno. Brian, that's what you love to see. The Baruch Bearcats have always been led by a strong, dominant hitter from New Jersey.
Yeah, there's no debate about that one, Jake. As a really nice looking possession there from the Bearcats, and Stallone Shankar will drop back to serve. Shankar looking back row. Dug by NYU, but barely. It's going to be a free ball. And Shankar going outside to Han. Handled by NYU. Sent over on 2, but into the net.
Yeah, a little bit of a selfish play there, but it's so tempting as a setter when you see that nice pass coming to you. It just feels so juicy, and you want to rip on that. And as a lefty setter, that really opens up your shoulders to have a nice aggressive swing into the court.
So Bearcats will look to get something going here early. And Shankar commits the service error. Jake, I don't know what the NYU bench was calling for there.
You're hearing a lot of air out of the NYU bench, Brian. But they were trying to signal to their players that Stallone wasn't going to put the juice behind that ball. But it seems like they were wrong because that ball came through with a little bit of heat.
Almost a little bit too much juice as that one nearly hits the rafters on the serve. Going outside to Han. A little bit of a tip there, but able to get it over. Off Higgins' hands, and that's going to find some real estate in the back row. Point NYU.
Yeah, nice high smart swing by number 4, Lucas Osheshki, the freshman from Middle Village, New York. And that's a real smart swing, Brian. Sometimes when hitters go up, they're scared to swing into the block, but some hitters view that as a tool just for them to get more points.
Yep. So that one sent over on 1.
Somehow avoided the rafters. Oh, the back row quick attack set a little bit too low for NYU.
Going outside to Han. Big swing. Somehow handled by NYU. Thrown over. Could have been a carry there, Jake, no?
It could have been, Brian, but in the way the game's played today, that never gets called, and that's a nice, clean power tip. Nicholas Godino for Baruch used to kind of tip the ball like that back in the glory days.
Fair enough. I'll take your word. I'm just here to talk a little volleyball.
In the Arc Arena, we call that the Plainview power tip.
Okay. And nice looking serve there, but again, Bearcats able to hold on. Shankar going outside to Defang. Off the net, played on.
Looks like NYU was asking for 4 touches, but it didn't get called.
And that one's going to find some real estate. That's Lucas Oshesky getting on the board there. It's going to be a Bearcat timeout, so we'll be back in a few moments. And back underway here at the Arc Arena, NYU leading 16-9 here in set number 1. Bearcats really not getting the looks they want here to get
snuck
started.
Through the triple block there. Nice aggressive swing by Han Defeng. Yeah, and like you said, Brian, not exactly getting the looks they wanted to get started. They've been out of system a lot. Let's see if as the match goes on, they can kind of dial in and get more into in-system volleyball.
So Jack Centeno on to serve for Baruch. And that one way out. Clearly just didn't time up the serve in comparison to the jump.
Yeah, it looks like we call that a waffle, Brian. Looks like he was going for a heavy topspin serve, and that ball came off kind of like a float.
Got it. So that will drop Lucas Oshevsky back. Nice looking serve there. Bearcats able to corral. Higgins, big swing.
Oh, and a great swing by Higgins, but the overpass just snuck over the net for the Violets. Real great run by Shankar there to find Higgins in transition off the net on a ball that looks like the Violets weren't ready to be a 31.
And Zach Knudsen able to send that one over. That one just trickled over the tape, and we'll get the ball back to NYU.
Nothing gets the boys hype quite like a libero bump kill, Brian.
I agree. Shankar going outside, let's see, and point Bearcats.
Another great swing by the freshman, Dennis Hugh.
Yeah, Dennis Hugh getting started early. I like a lot of what he's bringing to the table from that outside position, Jake.
Oh, and the big middle hitter, Akil Vaughn, is back in the front row, Brian. Let's see if Shankar can get him activated here.
Michael Higgins dropping back to the line to serve. And Higgins once again having a little trouble finding that back corner as he will sub out.
As libero Guden comes back in. And, you know, if I'm Coach Edwards in the in-between sets, I'm telling my boys, you know, keep serving aggressive, but it has to be in. I think that I've lost track, Brian. That must be service area number 5 for the Bearcats in this opening set, at least.
Yeah, Bearcats maybe want to go with a little bit more conservative approach. As Akil Vaughn able to get the kill, that one just rolls over the tape.
And we'll be talking about him all night, Brian. The Bearcats love to get him activated early and often.
And it's almost like NYU dropped back into their defense immediately. Vaughn didn't get all of that, and that one just rolled over perfectly in his favor. So we're going to have a few subs here.
Yeah, the Bearcats are running a 6-2 right now, Brian. So they put in another setter in the back row, number 9, the freshman Ryan Uman out of Long Island, New York. And then a front row right side comes in for who was setting previously, Stallone Shankar. And that front row right side is also a freshman. He is Andrew Bonwa from Brooklyn, New York, Fort Hamilton High School.
So a few changes for Coach Kevin Edwards' lineup here.
And it looks like number 5, the freshman from Fairlawn, New Jersey, Jack Centeno, is now the captain of the court.
Bearcats chasing 7 points as they'll look to get back to this first set. Nice back set there. Cross court, and NYU able to connect on that.
Actually, that ball was a little bit out, Brian.
Oh, yes.
That's a Bearcats
absolutely
point.
Right.
Good connection. Everything looked good, but that ball just sailed a little bit out.
Yeah, nice looking setup there, but the Bearcats will certainly benefit from that. As Uman serve, doesn't get the home roll, and NYU will get the ball back. They lead 20-13.
Yeah, let's see if the Bearcats can execute on this serve, Brian. This is a standing float, and you have to think the coaches have this here just to have someone who can get their serve in and consistently, but if you're the Bearcats, you have to execute on the easy serve.
And let's see, the easy serve turns into the ace. Almost kind of fooled him.
Yeah, looks like he thought the ball was going to go out, but there's not enough juice behind it to actually sail out and falling in.
So Candido looking to extend his service run here. Bearcats play through the middle, go to Vaughn.
Ball kept alive.
Outside of Hugh, off some hands, kept alive NYU. They send it right back on 3, and that is as textbook of a kill as you might ever see.
That was a beautiful 31 run by NYU there, and absolutely destroyed by their middle hitter, number 15, Rye Kagan from Calabasas, California. And that's exactly how you want to see that 31 drawn up, Ryan.
Yeah, me and you both love seeing those 31s as Bearcats come from the pipe attack. Held on by NYU. The old give and go, and that is a monstrous kill for Luke Boyer.
Yeah, NYU is running a very fast outside ball there, Brian. It looks like it just beat the Baruch Bearcat pin blocker to the pin.
And Bearcats are going to talk this one over. NYU closing in on set number 1. So we will actually stay on the air. Jake, now we're signing off. We'll be back in a few moments. All right, we are back from timeout. NYU closing in on set point. Bearcats looking to get back into this one. Ball shot up into the rafters.
Another nice swing by Hugh.
Yep, kept it alive. Bearcats going cross-court set. Blocked. And ricochets off Hugh.
Yeah, another smart, aggressive swing by Hugh went off the block, but it looks like he lost that in the lights and didn't see it coming back down and hit him in the head before it went out.
So Candido on quite the service run here for the Violets as they close in on set point. Bearcats go through the middle to Vaughn, and he's able to get the friendly tip and the roll off the hands in the front.
When in doubt, set Vaughn and side out, Brian.
And it's interesting, Jake. Vaughn isn't getting all of these set in his swing necessarily. He's just getting enough to get it over that front row, and it's really finding some space there in the middle.
Okay, volleyball is such a game of angles, Brian. So you don't always have to be the strongest and most powerful hitter. As long as you're getting a good angle on the ball, sometimes it can be really tough to play.
Wen Chung dropping back to serve for Baruch. And Jake.
That's an out of rotation call on the Violets. They were out of rotation. Looks like the setter was stacked on the wrong side of the court there. The setter was in position 4. He thought he was in position 3, but he's in 4 because Brian, the right side just served out of 1.
Got it.
And the setter is always opposite of the right side.
So that's going to be a service error from Chung. NYU will get the point, and they take set number 1 by a score of 25-15. But plenty more volleyball action coming your way from the Arc Arena.
And we'll see you in a couple minutes, folks.
So we are just about underway here in set number 2. NYU took set number 1, 25-15. Luke Boyer on to serve for the Violets. And
just out, Brian.
Just out. Good looking serve there. Aggressive, looking for that back line. But
Baruch catches their first lead of the night.
Love to see it. The Cats are back.
The Cats might be rolling, Brian.
One might say. As Stallone Shankar will look to get a service run going. NYU sent over on 3. Kind of handcuffed Shankar. DeFang sends it over on 3. Let's see what NYU comes back. And they're going to get the tool there. That one almost found some line. Nice looking block there from Han. Just unfortunately a little bit out of bounds.
Yeah, it looks like the Bearcats made a little blocking adjustment, Brian, there. In the first set, they weren't getting quite all the way outside to the pin on that quick set. And now it looks like they are. And you can see already how good of a touch that was just from that quick little adjustment.
So Buddy Cohen serving.
A nice aggressive float serve.
Free ball from Han. Might have seen a double there. No call as NYU looking to come through the middle, goes into the top of the net, and the Bearcats will take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, Brian, that ball looked like it came out a little bit messy, but in the way the game's called nowadays, it's very rare to see a double touch or a carry or a lift, as some would say, called on the first contact.
Got it.
Possible, but unlikely.
Of course. So nice looking serve there from Centeno. NYU looking to execute their offense, but that one goes a little long, and just like that, the Bearcats jump out to an early 3-1 lead.
Yeah, I like the D-ball set there, Brian, but just couldn't find the court with it. Centeno back at the line from Fairlawn, New Jersey. A real powerhouse in the New Jersey high school volleyball scene.
So
dug by Centeno.
Yeah, off some hands in the front, and that's going to be a point for the Violets.
And they're calling a double touch there, Brian, but because the libero played the ball with his hands in front of the 10-foot line, even if that ball wasn't going over the net, the Baruch Bearcats cannot attack that ball. Because if the libero sets the ball in front of the 10-foot line, you have to stay down. You aren't allowed to attack it.
Jake, that insight, second to none. That's why they pay you the big bucks around here.
Big rules guy, Brian.
As Shankar will find Han. Han looking. And let's see the call.
And that call is out of bounds. On the second touch by the Bearcats, they hit it off the net, but it hit the net outside of where the antenna was. So that's not in the legal field of play, out of bounds.
So another point for the Violets, tied at 3-all here in set number 2. Ryan Lee on to serve. Bearcats able to hold on there. Here's Hugh.
Ooh, and looks like he swung just out there, Brian. Looks like he was going for some hands, but might have swung over the block a little bit, missed the hands, and missed the court.
Nonetheless, though, good job on the Bearcats holding on to that serve.
Yeah, still a great swing by Dennis Hugh, and you want him to go back out there and make that swing again because the next one's probably going to fall.
Ryan Lee commits the service error. Sure, the Bearcats, a little bit of a sigh of relief. That's not someone you want to get rolling from a service run standpoint.
Exactly, Brian. So that's a real sigh of relief there from the Bearcats. And let's see if they can start creating some positive momentum here in the second set, tied 4-4.
So Michael Higgins dropping back, perennial electric factory for this Bearcat lineup, just trying to get his serve in bounds, and he does this time. Back set NYU, tipped over.
Dug by Higgins.
Shankar going to Centeno with the pipe attack, dug by NYU, ball off the rafters. It's going to be a free ball from NYU. Shankar will go to Vaughn through the middle, and point for the Violets.
Ooh, looks like Vaughn just swung out there, Brian. Looks like he hit the net, and the ball bounced off a little bit in an awkward angle.
Yeah, just didn't get that shoulder positioning, right, Jake?
Yeah, it's a game of inches sometimes, Brian. And back at the line to serve, number 4, Lucas Asheshki.
Oshevsky going back row, Doug Centeno. Shankar going through Vaughn in the
real
middle.
Smart tip by Vaughn.
Yeah, really nice job adjusting there in
that
midair.
ball might have been a double, Brian.
No call. Shankar outside set, Hugh. And tied up in the back row. It's going to be a kill for the freshman.
And that's just what we were talking about, Brian, that he had a real smart, aggressive swing last time that just went out. And what did we say? That next one's going in, just like that, Bearcat point.
Yep. So Dennis Hu gets on the board as Defeng Han will drop back to serve for the Cats.
Now looks like the Cats are starting out the second set, sticking to their 5-1 with Stallone Shankar blocking in the front.
So sent over on 1. Shankar going outside of Hu. And off some hands, another kill for the freshman.
And you can kind of tell that Dennis Hugh might have made an adjustment there. Looks like his first couple swings he was avoiding the block, and now he's going up and saying, you know what, if you're going to put up that big block against me, I'm going to swing off those hands and hit out.
So Hu getting some nice momentum here in his Arc Arena debut. NYU getting their set. Handled by the Bearcats. Cross-court set to Hugh. Another kill.
Another kill by Hugh. You know, you're hearing a lot coming from the NYU bench, Brian. And you have to think maybe they can think of so many creative things to say at the Baruch servers because they're spending so much time not in the game.
That's a fair point, Jake. So Defang Han continue this service run. NYU will go to their outside. Beautiful dig in the back row by Centeno.
Ball kept alive.
Yep, ball kept alive. NYU going through the middle.
Nice one-ball kill there, Brian. You know, as a middle, don't like to see the opposition do that to us, but love to see a swing like that.
Yeah, it's a nice-looking set out of NYU to really stop that Bearcat run. Just a point away as the Cats lead 7-6. Sent over on one from Baruch. Sent back on one by NYU. Shankar outside to Who. Tipped over.
And see, that's such a smart tip by Dennis there because that takes the setter out of system when you tip the ball to him and make him dig it.
Yep. So Han unable to dig that one. Kind of tough positioning there, too. That close to the net with a big swing like that.
And back at the line for the Violets, number 10, Robbie Allen.
So just looking to float that one over, but goes a little bit too long, and the Bearcats will regain possession with an 8-7 lead here in set number 2.
Dennis Hugh back at the line.
He'll go back row.
And a great one-ball run off the aggressive serve right there. And that's just a brilliant offensive mind by number 11, Ryan Lee, seeing his middle there and connecting quickly on that serve receive.
Yeah, it's a really good-looking connection there. Not much the Bearcats can do with that one. As Centeno coming from the outside, tipped off some hands, ball shot up into the rafters.
Mine. Looks like there's a little bit of communication there, Brian. No one knew whose ball that was. Bearcat point.
So, yeah, the back row miscue will benefit the Bearcats.
And a good swing by Centeno, but an even more impressive touch by Zach Knudsen to keep that ball alive.
Akil Vaughn on to serve. Dug by the back row. And NYU once again able to execute their look. Everyone perfectly in rotation.
Yeah, you can see the NYU game plan is really to get the middles involved early and often to that way open up the solo block to their pin hitters. And it looks like they were out of rotation again, but it wasn't called.
And nice job by Shankar sending it over. Somehow NYU keeps that one alive. Shankar going to Higgins now. Blocked, but kept alive by Baruch. Here's Centeno going back row. Dug by NYU. Sent over on
blocked by Higgins.
And Higgins, the electric factory, gets the Cats back in this one.
Fan favorite Michael Higgins. You can see the crowd going crazy after that block.
Doing what he does best in that front row.
And you see, Brian, it looks like I was right. They were slightly out of rotation on that previous play. It looks like the Violets might have some new faces out there who might be a little confused on where to be, but it looks like they readjusted to the right spot now.
So Stallone Shankar on to serve for the Bearcats, but not for long. His buddy Cohen gets the ball right back for the Violets.
Great swing by Buddy, and a real good, real textbook execution of the one ball there, Brian.
Again, you see they get that momentum, perfect set. You have the outside or the middle come in, big swing. Not much you can do there.
Exactly. What that's going to do is force the Bearcats defense to commit to the one ball, which then makes every other hitter's job that much easier.
So Cohen now serving for the Violets, tipped over by Higgins, sent back over by Higgins.
Ooh, and a nice swing off the hands by number 4 for the Violets.
That's Oshevsky.
Oshevsky.
Violets seem to be getting some momentum here, getting back into their looks, a little bit more reminiscent of set 1, so the Bearcats are going to have to put a stop to this if they want to stay in it.
Yeah, number 13, Buddy Cohen, has definitely injected a lot of fire into the Violets lineup. He didn't see much action in the first set and bringing a lot of energy as he come in the second.
Shankar with a beautiful back set to Centeno, and no answer from NYU.
Great swing by the freshman out of Fair Lawn, New Jersey, Jack Centeno, as the Bearcats side out and tie the game up 11-11.
Jake, where's he from?
Fair Lawn, New Jersey. You know, New Jersey, the volleyball capital of the world.
Just
Brian.
in case the folk at home didn't know. Centeno, the freshman out of New Jersey, on to serve. Service error there, but pretty good looking serve. Could have caught the home roll, just a few inches short.
Yeah, you know, if I'm Coach Edwards, I'm telling him to go back up next time and dial it up from the line. I'm having confidence in my strong freshman outside hitter.
So Ryan Lee back on to serve for NYU. He'll go back road. Dug by the Bearcats, coming through the middle, pipe attack, Centeno, no good. But again, a nice looking set there out of the Bearcats.
Well said, Brian. Great choice of the offense there by Shankar. You could really see that the NYU defense wasn't ready for that big run there. Just a little bit of a misconnection, but let's see if the Bearcats can really get that back road quick attack activated in the second set.
And Lee commits the service error.
You know, Brian, the Violets only had one service error in set one, and it seems like they're having a much tougher time at the line here in set two.
Yeah, so certainly keeping the Bearcats in this one, whereas Baruch committed the majority of the unforced errors in set one as Higgins with the big serve. And that one miraculously kept alive by Lee.
Yeah, and a great swing by the middle, and that's what so much about being the middle is about, Brian. You don't have to get your best swing on every ball. You just have to get a swing on every ball.
And Lee, that kind of caught Lee low, going for that set, was able to just somehow throw it up to his middle blocker.
You can tell the NYU offense this season has really run out of their middle, where in previous years it had been by a dominant right side or outside hitter.
So back set to Defang Han, and he's going to get the tool as that ball shoots up into the bleachers, almost back row. So you know there's a lot behind that one.
And the Bearcats are doing another 6-2 switch here as they opt to have the freshman setter come into the back row and the freshman right side hitter to come into the front row. So that is Umen joining at the line and Ubangwa in the front.
And point Violets as they take a 2-point lead here in set number 2. And that one nearly finds some real estate in the campfire. That one was probably going out as well, but kept alive by NYU. Able to get back into their rotation.
Yeah, look, the Bearcats were out of system to begin with there and can never really dial it in, Brian.
Yeah, so that's Luke Boyer coming away with the kill as Robbie Allen, the junior middle hitter, onto serve.
Looks like another standing float serve for the Violets. And a nice swing by Ubangwa, snuck in between the block and the net.
Yes,
Bearcats.
Sometimes it's all you need, just that little spacing between the defense and the net, able to get that one in.
The blocking in volleyball, Brian, is all about how far over the net you get. And sometimes as a big blocker, you can get caught going up and then over. And that's what looked like happened there with the Violets. And as they were going up, the ball snuck through before they could push over.
And Jake, with inside like that, we might have to consider making these broadcasts on demand.
Yeah, Baruch plus.
Baruch plus, but Buddy Cohen, once again, as soon as the Cats get rolling with the answer for the Violets.
And Brian, you have to wonder if Buddy Cohen is using this as a chance to audition for a starting spot, kind of telling Coach, hey, put me in set one next time. I'm going to get every swing as a kill.
And I'm no volleyball scout, Jake, but certainly Cohen looks like someone you'd want in your lineup. As Centeno, dug by the back row.
Bearcat point there. Looks like the Violets set the ball a little bit too far outside for their pin hitter.
Yeah, and Boyer, natural righty, kind of had to force the left just to throw it over.
Yeah, Brian, real great set coming out of number 13 for the Violets, Buddy Cohen. I'm definitely drafting on my D3 fantasy volleyball team this year.
You and me both. As Justin O'Lulian will check in. He'll draw back to serve, making his Arc Arena debut on the 2022 season. Nice serve there by NYU.
And that's what we were talking about, Brian, with when you run that quick middle ball, how it makes the team respect it so much. Both blockers for the Bearcats were sure that was going to be a one ball when it was really kind of a quick two ball, the outside hitter, and they jumped with the middle, leaving the outside hitter with a wide open net to swing on.
So Boyer dropping back at the line to serve for the Violets as they lead 18-15.
And that ball's out, Brian.
Yep, that ball's out. Didn't catch any Bearcat back row.
Violets thought they saw a touch, Brian. Not sure what game they're looking at.
Stallone Shankar dropping back.
Yeah, this is the inverse of that 6-2. We're putting the setter back in the back row, Brian, and the starting right side back in the front row, Defang Han.
Yep, so Bearcats getting into the rotation that they want. Here's Shankar. Float serve, dug back row. NYU, the give and go. Nice block there by Han, but unable to angle it in bounds, and that's going to be a tool for the Violets.
And you see another smart setting decision for the Violets as the setter set up his outside hitter for another solo block.
So Buddy Cohen, the #1 overall draft pick of your volleyball fantasy team, on to serve.
Didn't say I was picking him 1, Brian, but he's definitely one of my top picks.
All right, fair enough. Violets looking to keep this alive.
So a little bit of miscommunication there.
Yeah, a little bit out of rotation. Back set to Centeno off some hands in the front, and it's going to be a point for the Bearcats.
Yeah, Brian, looks like Asheshki's having a really tough time tonight staying out of the net on his block.
Would one call that a net violation back home?
That would be a net violation. Let's see if the Violets coach Pena has any adjustments for his blockers there to kind of stay out of the net and quit giving Baruch so many easy points.
Yeah, they might want to talk that one over between sets because that seems to be an issue plaguing them here in set 2. Centeno on to serve. A lot of steam behind that one, but kept alive by NYU. Sent over on 1 by Godine. Nice looking double block there from the Bearcats. Kept alive. Shankar unable to get the dig as that one caught him a little too high to get some arms on that one. Jacob, your thoughts?
Look, we're seeing some real good volleyball being played here, Brian.
Really good looking set there.
Seems like both teams are really locked in, playing some high-level volleyball, and it's the type of match you really wanted to see tonight.
Yeah. So that's going to be timeout for the Bearcats. A lot of back-and-forth action here in set 2. Violets leading Baruch 20-17. We'll be back in just a few moments. Back in action here. Set number 2, Ryan Lee on to serve. Dug by Godine. Shankar going to Higgins. Corralled by Shankar.
Set by Defeng. Dennis off the block. Shankar tracks it down. A little miscommunication there for the Bearcats. Free ball gets sent back over. Watch the overpass.
And Hugh throws it over. Kept alive by NYU. Then Higgins sent back over. NYU able to generate a good look there. Outside set to Hugh.
Off the block, kept alive by the Violets.
Yeah, nice dig there. As Candido looking for some real estate and/or hands, and he'll find them.
Yeah, a real smart swing there by number 6, Jack Candido. You know, he took a little bit off it and just found the court. And sometimes that's all you need to do, Brian.
Especially taking a bit off, you get the defense a little bit lower in their jump, I assume.
Yeah, it's all about timing. You know, if you can just hit that ball nice and high and deep, chances are you get a kill.
So dug by Godine, sent over on 1, just unfortunately out of bounds as NYU, once again, not far away from set point.
Yeah, pulling ahead here with some strong, aggressive serving by number 11, Brian. And that's what we were talking about earlier in the match when he missed a serve, how great it was for the Bearcats to side out early. And you definitely don't want to see the Violets going to run here.
Lee going same spot to Godine. Back set to Hahn. Kept alive by NYU. And that one's out of bounds.
Yeah, it looks like number 9 wish he had that swing back, but still a good run of the back row ball.
So that will bring on Michael Higgins to serve. Akil Vaughn will also check back in. Let's see what Higgins can draw up here. And nice roll. Find some back row. And Olszewski.
And that ball's hit out. Bearcat point.
Yeah, coming with a lot of steam behind that one. Just looking for that.
Yeah, it looks like that one,
corner.
Brian. You can swing with your shoulder or your wrist, but when you do both, the chance of you hitting out is that much greater. So it's like he swung with the shoulder there and the wrist away, which is why that ball went out of bounds.
Yeah, just opened up a little bit there as Higgins will look to string together a service run. Spoke a bit too soon as he commits a service error. Ball back to the Violets.
You know, it's important to have that aggressive serve down the line because a lot of times the defense will sit in your cross on your serve. So it looks like Higgins is trying to establish that aggressive line shot, just not really dialing it in at this moment.
So here's Olszewski.
Ball's kept alive.
Nice job by the Bearcats. And there's Boyer.
A kill for the Violets. A nice quick outside ball getting set to the pin. And it's a set point for the Violets here with number 4 back at the line, Lukasz Olszewski.
So the Bearcats certainly have to play conservative here. Just enough to keep this set alive. Olszewski, big swing, sent over on one by Hu. Back set for the Violets.
And the tool.
And that's going to be a tool point NYU, and they will take set number 2 by a score of 25-19 as they jump out to an early 2-set lead here at the Arc Arena.
We'll be right back in a few minutes, folks.
All right, so we are back underway here in set 3. Jacob Ladybug Marichal Rudin with the save, bringing out the manual scoreboard. Yes, the manual scoreboard, as we are having a few technical difficulties here to get set number 3 started.
And Violet's lead 1-0.
So Baruch naturally got to take this set to keep this one alive, but seen some good things out of the Bearcats. Definitely some flashes and some momentum swings.
And speaking of good things out of the Bearcats
yeah.
and good things out of New Jersey, Jack Centeno, the freshman from Fairlawn.
Only the best out of New Jersey.
But you know, Brian, we might be having a couple tech issues, but that's the type of adversity we'd love to overcome as student athletes.
A lot of grit here at Baruch College, that's for sure.
Definitely don't back away from the grit here at Baruch.
Everything earned, nothing's given, Jake.
And with a 31 there, nice run. Violet's lead 2-1. Number 1 at the line to serve for the Violets. High float down the line. And now let's put that in as an ace in the stat book, Brian, for Sachin Dasari.
So we will take it.
The freshman setter from Cupertino, California.
And Jake, we've seen year in, year out how NYU is able to do a phenomenal job recruiting on a national level. You see it across all their sports. I certainly know on the baseball side. And, yeah, it really makes a difference.
Yeah, they have some players from California, Pennsylvania, Illinois, New York, and also from Hawaii, Brian, from Punahou High School, which is typically a perennial member of the Hawaii State Volleyball Championship. Very strong program they have out there. Violet's lead 4-2. Osheshki to serve.
So appreciate everyone at home sticking with us as we work through our technical difficulties.
Shankar runs the 31, and a kill by the Bearcats, as it looks like some new faces on the court for the Bearcats. Number 13 with the kill, Carlos Rodriguez.
So Bearcats working their way back in this one. Certainly have some ground to recover.
Bearcats are trailing 3-4 here with the serve, and they just did the sub for the 6-2 rotation, so that's Uman back to set. And it looks like it wasn't a 6-2. Looks like just Uman came in for Shankar. And a nice swing by the Violets as they sided out there. Violets lead 5-3.
So yeah, Defeng Han doing his best to come away with the dig in that one.
And the star of the second set and my fantasy volleyball team, Brian, back at the line, Buddy Cohen.
Jake, I don't know about you. He's rising up the draft board as this game goes on.
Yeah, he might become my first-round pick. Oh, what a rally for the Violets there. The ball kept bouncing back and forth over the net before eventually falling on the Bearcat side.
Yeah, a little bit of a heartbreaker there for the Bearcats.
As the Violets lead 6-3. Cohen to serve.
Dug in the back row by Godin. Outside set to Defeng Han, and that one goes out of bounds into the NYU bench.
It looks like Han Defeng didn't quite get all of that one. Buddy Cohen back in the line for the Violets. And you know what? He might have just passed Buddy the Elf to become my favorite Buddy.
That's some tough competition there, Jake. As Bearcats get away with what might have been a double. Pipe attack Centeno, dug by NYU.
Ooh, and the ball kept alive. A little confusion over who's going to play for the Bearcats. Off the divider, kept alive by Uman.
And Boyer.
Nice combination play for the Violets. Looked like they were running a 31 and kind of an inside shoot for their outside. Caught the Bearcat block sleeping a little bit there, Brian.
NYU doing a really nice job all match long of going to Boyer.
And the Violets lead now 8-3 after a nice good streak here at the line from Cohen. Back to Rodriguez, the sub for the third set, and another kill by Carlos.
So Rodriguez comes away with the tool. So it's 8-4, NYU leading.
And number 1 coming in to serve for Dennis, Wen Cheng.
Back set, tipped over, kept alive Baruch. Outside set to Centeno. Ball coming into the broadcast booth, and that's a kill.
Another kill, courtesy of the Garden State.
Wen Chung dropping back at the line to serve.
Bearcats trail 5-8.
Nice serve there. But NYU able to get right into their rotation. Easy
nice
look.
execution out of the middle there from number 19, Brian Kellogg.
Yeah, not much you can do with that, Jake, correct?
And not much you can do there. I misspoke. It looks like it's a right side swing there, not a middle. And like that was Kellogg saying, I'm not a middle, I'm a right side, I'm a service ball out to Troya.
So the Bearcats will regain possession as they trail.
Rodriguez comes to the line for the first time this evening.
Yep, Bearcats chasing 4 points here. Set number 3. High outside set. Dug by Rodriguez. Ball into the bleachers.
Handled by Centeno.
Yeah, sent back into.
Well, that ball might be going out, but the Violets played it. Tip. Dug by Uman.
And a heartbreaking miscue there. First, the miraculous effort to keep that volley alive, and then the Bearcats get caught sleeping.
Yeah, Brian, when the setter plays that ball, it's the middle second ball to get. Typically, the libero plays it. But looks like there's a little bit of confusion there as the middle was in to serve and didn't know that that was his ball to play.
We're just finishing each other's sentences out here. Back to doing what we do.
Like an old married couple.
Like an old married couple, yes.
We'll finish that next time, Brian.
All right. As that ball goes out of bounds off the Bearcats' back row, it's going to be a point for the Violets.
Ace by number 9, Luke Boyer.
Scoreboard back underway here at the Arc Arena, so they're going to retire the manual one. But, again, big shout-out to you, Jake, for keeping this game alive.
You know, if there's one reason I'm here for today, Brian, it's to let the boys play.
So Centeno looking to tip deep into that back row, unable to get it as that one just shoots a little out of bounds.
It's always going to play like as a hitter, you're looking for hands. It looks like he just missed the hands he was trying to shoot that ball off of and kind of shot it out of bounds, Brian.
And that's going to be a service error for Boyer. Bearcats will regain possession. Few subs here. Stallone Shankar checking in and dropping back to serve.
And Ubangwa in the front row.
Violets lead 12-7 as Shankar will look to go on a deep service run, get the Bearcats back in this, and kept alive by NYU. Free ball. Shankar back set. Ubanwe, and see some movement in that antenna.
Ubangwa took it a little bit too much to the line, Brian, and swung that ball into the antenna.
So that will send Rai Kagan back to the line to serve for NYU. Shankar back set Centeno, tipped over the front row, kept alive by NYU, spoke too soon. That ball goes shooting into the bleachers. And it's going to be a point for the Bearcats.
It looks like they just had what happened to the Bearcats on a previous play where the setter played the first ball and the middle was into serve and there was no one there to play the second ball.
Exactly.
Centeno to serve.
He's gone on a few nice service runs here for Baruch as, once again, I spoke too soon. Commits a service error, but you can tell how he has an effective serve, and if he gets going, could definitely lead to a nice momentum.
You really tell Coach Edwards is back there giving him the green light saying go for that again, go for that again. And Sanchin Desari serving for the Violets here.
As he commits a service error.
And you see kind of like Michael Higgins there, he was going to establish his serve down the line because once you make the defense respect your serve down the line, then you can open up that cross-court shot, which is a little bit easier. You have a little more court for that ball to fall into. And Higgins to serve. Let's see what he does here.
Higgins, beautiful serve, dug in the back row. But once again, NYU coming back.
My man Buddy Cohen with another kill. Want to see the stat sheets, Brian. He must be, I don't think he's had an error all night.
Might be time to fire up the mock draft here, Jake.
He's climbing up. His average draft pick is getting higher and higher with every swing.
Love to see the ADP there.
Ubangwa with this nice aggressive swing.
And even more so, you love to see the Bearcats respond as Ubangwa comes away with that kill.
And what a smart decision there by Shankar. And he's done it all night where once your hitter makes a mistake as a setter, you can't give up on them. You have to give them another ball, give them another chance, and say, you know what, I'm going to give you another opportunity to prove yourself. And that's exactly what Shankar did there to Ubangwa. Bearcats trail 10-15.
And pipe attack, Olszewski kept alive by the Bearcats. Here's Defeng Han. He'll go back row. Kept alive NYU. Here's Boyer off some hands in the front. Dug by the Bearcats. Here's Hu. Nearly tooled out of bounds, but kept alive by NYU. Here's a free ball. And that one sent out of bounds since the Bearcats bench. Point Baruch.
A lot of great energy at the Bearcats here, Brian. And they're only trailing by 4 now. You want to see them keep their feet on the gas and keep pushing forward.
All gas, no break.
Uman to serve.
So Uman with the back row float serve. Kind of handcuffs Boyer high. I saw the double. No call. Here's Hu. Blocked in the front, and that is a double block looking like Cohen and Kellogg in there.
Double touch into a double block, and that's a Violet point. And for the Bearcats' sake, let's hope they can get Cohen off the line quickly this time.
And Cohen coming in, not looking to really fool anyone with the serve. Just getting it over to that back row, but just kind of goes to show what consistent serving can do.
That's what I used to do back in my day when I was at the line for the Bearcats, Brian. I would just go up there and try and get it in, let our big block do the rest of the work.
Absolutely. As NYU keeping this live. Here's Boyer off some hands in the front, and he'll come away with the tool.
Yeah, looks like he caught the Bearcat block just reaching a bit there. Didn't exactly get set, and that's a nice swing. And again, another run at the line by Cohen.
And Cohen commits the service error.
Yeah, the rare service error for Buddy Cohen there, as Bearcats got a point that they desperately needed, and they now trail 12-17. Serving specialist Wen Chung in.
So Bearcats chasing 5 points here. Nice block there by Rodriguez. Forces NYU to scramble. They're unable to hold on to that one.
Yeah, real good job with the Bearcats block there to identify the out-of-system swing, get there early, wait, and then push over when the time was right.
Just like they drew it up. Wen Chung on to serve. Nice one there. Back set for NYU. Kellogg sends that one out of bounds. Point for the Bearcats.
Wen Chung back at the line.
And looking for that cross court, back corner.
Looking for that deep shot. Just missed cross court there, Brian, about 6 inches out. Violet's point as they lead 18-14.
So Brian Kellogg on to serve for the Violets. Here's Rodriguez through the middle. No answer there from Kellogg.
I think he might be 3 for 3 now. It seems like every ball they've gone to Rodriguez, he's executed on.
Yeah, Rodriguez generating some really, really good looks coming through that middle. And even more impressive is he angled his body one corner, able to swing around and totally handcuff Kellogg.
Exactly. He's been a real breath of fresh life into the Baruch Bearcats offense this set.
Yeah, definitely a spark plug. Wonder if that will affect rotation as the Bearcats get another point.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty good middle run there. It looks like the middle hitter didn't exactly get the right swing on. He's tapping his chest to the setter saying, give that to me again, that was my fault.
Yep.
And the rare hitting error out of the middle for the Violets. Cats trail 16-18 with Rodriguez serving.
Yeah, Carlos Rodriguez on to serve. That one kept alive by the Bearcats. Here's Boyer. Awesome hands in the front row. Baruch able to come away with the block, and NYU gets right back into this one as they're not far away from match point, but I'm sure this Bearcat team has a little fight left in it.
Well said, Brian, as the Violets lead 19-16 with number 9 back at the line, Luke Boyer. He does a lot for him. Their freshman outside hitter.
Dug in the back by Godin.
Outside to Centeno.
Handcuffed Kellogg in the back, but kept alive. Here's Wyszewski.
And the block by DeFeng Han and Michael Higgins. The Bearcats claw back in, 17-19.
You can tell Higgins is fired up, getting his team back into this one.
Yeah, in the front row right side, Ubangla comes in as Stallone Shankar comes into the back to set.
So Shankar on to serve now for the Bearcats as they trail by 2. Like we mentioned, Jake, a lot of fight left in this team. He'll go back row, float serve. Did he get it? No.
Ooh, looks like it was just out.
As that's going to be an ace for Rye Kagan.
Yeah, real great jump float there, Brian. When you're serving like that, you don't want the ball to go that high over the antenna, and especially Kagan. He's nice and tall. He can use that big frame to get a nice flat downward angle on the ball out of his hands.
And just like that, he goes right back. Same approach. Cohen unable to connect on that one.
Yeah, it looks like the ball was a little bit too tight for him. He didn't even get to touch it as the Bearcats get the point. Centeno back at the line and Hugh checking back in.
Bearcats trailing by 3. Looking to string together a Centeno service run. And good looking serve there. Kept alive NYU. Unable to send it over on 3 as it goes into the bottom portion of the net.
Yeah, not really sure what happened there, Brian. Looked like a very well drawn up play offensively. Looked like the hitter had anywhere he wanted to put that ball, but he just unfortunately chose to put that ball into the net. Well, fortunately for the Bearcats, unfortunately for the Violets. As the Cats now trail 19-21 with Centeno at the line.
Centeno goes back row. Set through the middle and Cohen.
Another kill for Cohen. He's been unstoppable tonight. And you see, that's a serve that just can't happen at that point, Brian. You can't take a little bit off your serve and then put it to the libero, the best passing, the passing specialist really for the other team. Can't have a serve like that in such a close match.
Yeah, of course, especially at this point in the game. As Shankar will go to Higgins. Higgins, big swing in the tool, keeping the Cats alive. Carlos Rodriguez checking back in. And Michael Higgins dropping back to serve. Also, Justin Olulian. He'll sub in, and he will drop back to serve instead. As Olulian with the jump float going back row.
And that ball's out.
Yep, and Olulian doing an acrobatic job of getting out of the way. Buddy Cohen coming with the big swing.
Yeah, the rare air out of Cohen there as the Bearcats trail by 1. Nice aggressive serve.
And Olszewski comes away with the kill.
And executes for the Violets as they pull ahead here, 23-21 in the third set. Olszewski to serve. And he serves out. The Cats are staying alive here.
Staying alive.
Trailing 22-23. Ubang was back to serve. Looks like the Bearcats might be reaching their limit in substitutions here. So they're leaving in Ubangwa to serve.
And unable to connect on that one.
Service error as the Violets pull ahead 24-22.
And Jake, it's an unfortunate thing that you never want to call as an announcer, but unfortunately it is match point
for the Violets. And exactly the guy you want at the line for the Violets, Buddy Cohen. His coach is telling him to go rip it here.
Cohen floats it back row. Shankar going to Rodriguez through the middle.
And Rodriguez has been absolutely unstoppable since he came in the third set, Brian. You have to wonder if he's fighting for a little more playing time here with how well he's been executing against such a top team in NYU.
One might say, Jacob, one might say. He's been an absolute difference maker for this Bearcat offense.
Match points still for the Violets as Dennis is in to serve. Dennis Hugh for the Bearcats as they trail 23-24.
He's just going to want to get it over, and they do exactly that. as NYU able to keep that one alive. Dug by Centeno, and Rodriguez unable to corral that one as NYU takes set number 3, 25-23, and completes the clean sweep of the Bearcats, 3-0. So that'll do it for us here at the Arc Arena. Thank you all for tuning in from all over the world. For Brian Flannery, I'm Jacob Rudin. We will be back for a lot of great volleyball action here in the 2022 season.
The next time you can listen to us will be February 17th against Purchase College, or on March 3rd versus Brooklyn College. Or if you can't make either of those games, please join our YouTube page March 5th versus Nedgar Evers.
All right, so we'll be back not too long from now. Thank you everyone who's tuned in, and we will see you all in a few weeks.